Hello and welcome to our new series of minisodes with author and social media strategist Zoe Lea. It's great to have you with us, Zoe. Would you like to start by introducing yourself to our listeners and watchers?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Nikki. And it's lovely to be here. So my name's Zoe Lea, and I am the author of two psychological thrillers, The Secretary and If He Wakes. And I'm also a social media strategist, particularly for authors. So I help authors and writers sell their books via social media.
Oh, that's brilliant. But yes, each mini-sode will be around 10 minutes long, and we'll focus on all the do's and don'ts of social media and how to grow followers and sell books. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to Minisode 5, and it's the scary one. It's TikTok for authors. So I am on TikTok with varying levels of success. Sometimes I have 600,000 views, and sometimes I have 200 views, but it's pretty sporadic with how much I post, which I know is wrong. So I'll do a few videos over a couple of days before sprinting back into my writing cave, which I know isn't the right approach. I do feel, though, that there is some unspoken pressure for authors to be on TikTok, and we keep hearing these amazing viral success stories. But how important is it for authors to be on this particular form of social media?
I would say it depends whether you like it. Like you said, this is the scary one. I love TikTok, but you said it's a scary one. But there is no doubt the book talk, the TikTok, the book community is getting bigger, and it seems to be increasing in popularity. And yes, it's all, the stickers with book talk made me buy it. And there's book talk festivals being started now. There is so much going on in the book talk world of TikTok that if you can bear the platform, I really love it. It's just an exciting place to be. But if you don't like it, don't go on it. It depends. It's totally up to the author. It's up to you. So same old. If you don't like it, don't do it. But if you can, get on TikTok.
So the hidden answer to that question there was yes. Need to be on it.
Well, I mean, yeah. You've completely taken it by storm, Zoe, and you can tell that you like it, and you're very good at it, but you also like it because you come across as really kind of genuine, I think, when you're doing it. And I think that, as you said, that's got to be key. You can tell that you like it, whereas I think I'm like frozen, look really unnatural or whatever, and I'm like, no, take me back to Twitter.
No, you're not.
But like Lauren, I'm on it, and I know it's obviously videos rather than written posts. But what are the key things that you need to remember when creating TikTok content?
Okay, so the first thing I would say to anybody who's doing short form video is just speak to one person, speak to your ideal reader. So whenever you're making any kind of content, you should only be speaking to your ideal reader anyway, but it's more important in video, because if you suddenly think, I am going to be speaking to thousands of people, it comes across. And remember, you are just really speaking to one person on their phone or on their laptop. So it's important to remember that you're just talking to one person. The other things to remember is the format of the video, because people scroll at an enormously fast rate. I think it's like, what is it, 2 seconds, and you just scroll. Yeah. So you've got hardly any time to catch them. So I would do away with all the hi guys and morning, how are you? You can do that, but then edit the video to straight where you get into the bones of what your video is about. And saying that, I would always say start with a strong hook. And the best way to think about this is if you were just FaceTiming your best friend. So say you were FaceTiming me, and you just sort of like and you go and you're just like, hey, what happened to me today? Oh my God, you won't believe it. As if you are just grabbing them at the, you just get them. And so you want to start with a strong hook. It depends obviously on what your content strategy is and what you're pushing, but start with a strong hook, then get into the bones of whatever it is straight away, and then end with a call to action. So a lot of people forget to end on a strong thing as well. After somebody's watched your video, you want them to do something else. Every video should have a point to it, even if it's just like you were saying before, you're walking your dog and you think, I'll just do a quick TikTok while I'm walking my dog. Absolutely brilliant. But at the end of it, have somewhere that you want them to go. So you could say, like, walking my dog and I had this amazing idea for a book and blah, blah, blah. And if you want to know more, sign up to my newsletter. Always have somewhere that you're pushing them. So end with a good, call to action at the end of it. and that's good to go. You know, go and make a ton of those and you'll be away.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think it is that like few seconds at the start. And I know that I'm someone who, when I'm watching them, if people are talking, I'm much less interested than if there's a really catchy music and words. So I always do the music and words rather than me wittering on. Also, it takes less retakes as well, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Stop wittering. But I see a lot of fantasy books talked about on TikTok, on BookTok, as well as obviously Colleen Hoover, which is YA. So are there specific types of genres that are most successful on TikTok, i.e. YA and fantasy, than others? You know, is there a corner of BookTok for crime and thriller authors? And if there is, where is it?
It absolutely is on there. It's just that the big genres like the YA and the spicy fiction, and now science fiction, the other science fiction is just coming up. But thriller talk and, you know, all of that is out there. There are so many readers on TikTok that whatever genre book you're writing in, a reader will be on TikTok viewing it. So it's basically just a case of interacting with the BookTokers who read thriller books, and a lot of BookTokers will read across a wide range of genres. So even they might be, you know, posting about Colleen Hoover or whatever, they still might be your ideal reader picking up your thriller book. So again, it goes back to what themes are in your book and what might those people like. Like spicy fiction, like erotic fiction, does really, really well on TikTok. So you might have written a thriller that has, you know, quite a few sex scenes in it. So pull out those sex scenes and get those readers in. So it's all about showing the different themes, as we discussed earlier, taking those out. But yes, every type of reader, I think, is on TikTok. There's billions of them. Yeah.
And how can authors build up relationships with BookTokers, Zoe? It's something that you just mentioned, kind of, you know, comment on their posts and stuff like that. Is it just a case of following them and commenting on their posts? I think because I'm used to Twitter, where if you write something back to somebody, generally or often anyway, they will respond and you can kind of build up a relationship like that. But I don't think TikTok is quite the same.
I think it is to some degree. So it's the same as any other platform. Go and engage with those, because as well as doing that, you're also training the TikTok algorithm. So it will show your videos to those people. So the more interaction you get with the BookTokers who read your book, like, you know, that's important. Don't just go to like people who write recipe books. Oh, unless they read thrillers as well. But, you know, make sure you've got your ideal reader in there. Go and interact with them and duet their videos. So TikTok has this lovely feature where you can tag your video onto the end of theirs, where you can do a reaction video to their video, where you can, you know, you can sort of like really play around with them. So just when you're like, we're all readers as well as authors. So when you're wanting to go with other BookTokers, put your reading hat on rather than I'm here as an author and trying to build up a community. Just go on it with the joy of reading and the joy of like those books that we all love. And that will naturally happen. And you'll start to, you know, see the overspill from TikTok to, because you can interlink, you can put like the little Instagram thing on your TikTok account. That will go over to Instagram. And again, this sense of community will be around your TikTok with the BookTokers. And they're a lovely, 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 lovely bunch. They're really good. And they buy books so quickly.
But sadly, that's all we've got time for today. Thank you for listening to our Minisode with social media strategist Zoe Lea. And thank you, Zoe, for sharing your expertise with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I've loved chatting with you two always. So thank you.
Oh, it was lovely to have you, Zoe. And I should remind our listeners that Zoe is the best-selling psychological fiction author of If He Waits and Secretary, both of which available to buy right now. And Zoe is also a social media strategist. So for more information and how to see how Zoe might be able to help you, sign up for her weekly newsletter, which is full of social media tips for authors on Substack under the Author's Guide 2. Or you can go and have a look at her website, which is at zoelee.com, and that's LEA.com.
And all the links are in the descriptions of this episode, no matter where you're watching or listening. But that's it for us. So it's a goodbye from Zoe.
Bye.
And it's a goodbye from us. Goodbye.
Bye.